So, everyone, let's go to Heathen Dogs, Heathen Dogma.
All right.
I know what you're
Thank you very
saying. You're like,
much.
where's my big intro? Where's my
That's
big? I
fine.
always get a big intro. You know what? This time I didn't do it. You know why?
Why is that?
I was subverting expectations.
And you did it just fine. All right. Today we are going to talk about Eclipse Phase Transhuman Player's Guide. All right. Now this book is dense. All right.
It looks
It's not
dense.
it's not huge, but it's packed full of information. So I can't go a blow by blow. It would take at least 2, maybe even 3 segments to do it in. But hey, if you want me to, I will make other segments that will go for it step by step so I can walk you through everything that this book has to offer. Right now, I'm going to give you the highlights and go a little deeper into what I liked about the book.
Highlights is probably a better idea.
Yes.
Oh, look at that!
Oh. And if you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe. All right, let's move on. We're going to go to the publication date. This particular book came out December 18th, 2013. The publisher is Posthuman Studios. And the price, well, here's the kicker. First edition Eclipse Phase is absolutely free.
Ooh.
According to their Creative Commons license, it is absolutely legal to share and copy all electronic content with anyone. So you can find it literally anywhere on the internet for absolutely free, and you're fine. Now, second edition is not going to be like that. Second edition is stalled a little bit. It's stalled in beta right now, but it is coming out sometime this year. So they say.
Sounds good.
But if you want a hardcover, you can get it from the Posthuman Studios website for $49.99. I found it on Amazon for $48, including shipping. And if you want a used copy that's a little damaged, you can get it for $35, $30 on eBay, stuff like that. That's fine if you want the hardcover. But if you just want the game for free, just download it from anywhere. You can get it for free. All right. Now, what is this book about? Mostly this book is about alternate character creation. All right. A different way to make your character. Now, in the original book, you had a character point system. Very much like other games like Heroes, Hero System, and many other, where you have a pool of points and you spend everything on it. You buy skills with it, attributes, stuff, everything. And when you run out of points, you're done. Well, some people apparently didn't like that. They liked different systems, so they put this book together for that. There are 2 different character creation subsystems that are introduced in this book. One is the package creation, where instead of using the character point system, you can roll randomly or choose from packages. What I mean by you can get a stat package, say a brawler package or a dilettante package or a hacking package or whatever that, and these are your stats. And then for your skills, you get an assassin package or a bodyguard package or a hypercorp package, and then boom, you got your skills. And then for gears, you see where I'm going with this.
Sounds like it saves time.
Exactly. It saves a lot of time, but you really sacrifice individuality because you're buying from packages. The other one is the life path creation system. Now, this is like the package system, but with much more random events put in, because you start your background when you're a kid. You start building your character as a child. And as you grow up during your backstory, you get random life events that happen to you and that help shape your character. And of course, at the end of the book, that this is literally 70% of the book are these 2 character creation systems. The other 30% is more morphs. That's more bodies you can put your brain into, and more gear, cyberware, bioware, guns, electric whips, all kinds of cool stuff that is just added onto the game. It's nice, but it's definitely not worth the price of the book. Well, if you're buying it. But what you're really looking for are the package creation and the life path creation. So that's what I'm focusing on today. So first, the package creation. These are for the folk that don't like no math. All right.
I hate math.
Exactly. Get off my lawn. Package creation is broken down, like I said, into packages. You get 10 package points to spend in total. You have to have a background and a faction and a focus. Right? And if you want to roll, all the entire package program is you can roll or choose. Roll on the table or choose from the table. All right? It's either way. So you can get a background that's worth 1 point, 3 points, or 5 points. Remember, you only have 10 total, but the 5 point is obviously far superior background package than the 1 point. You get more skills, you get stat bonuses, you get gear bonuses, starting money bonuses. Same thing for faction, same thing for focus. All right, the more powerful the package, the more it's going to cost. And you do this until you spend your 10 package points. Now, like I said, one has to be background, one has to be factions. Has to be. All right, everything else, your choice. Fine. There's still a little bit of math in there because at the end of it all, to get your morph, your body, and all of your gear, you get 100 character points to spend, and you have to spend that individually. There's no package for gear that gives you this is worth this. Well, no, there is, but it's not gear that you would actually want to choose for yourself. I looked through it and I was like, I would not choose that gear. And after you're all done with that, you put it all together, copy it onto the character sheet, and you're done. And that's it. If your game master is good at this, you can bust out a character in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
It's good, but I don't like it. It doesn't fit in the game. It is a shoehorn mechanic into a game based off of a character point system. All right, it's included for people who don't like to deal with large numbers like 1,000. All right, the problem is that the character point system is the core of this game. It takes away from all the diversity that you get from a game that is completely customizable like this. To me, it's the biggest draw to the game. At the beginning, it's math heavy in the beginning, but after that, it's basically smooth sailing. It's the same as Hero System. Hero System does the same thing. Extremely customizable. A little cumbersome in the beginning in character creation, but after that, it's all D6s after that, you know.
Hey, I have a question.
That's it. Shoot.
Weren't we supposed to see who won the contest?
We will.
Okay.
All right. I have a slide in there.
All right, sorry.
You're going to see it.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah.
I was just checking.
Right. Now, it's useful in only 2 ways. One, NPC generation. You can easily bring up the game master can roll up some NPCs real quick using the package system. Super quick. All right. And dealing with an unexpected death. Now, it's hard to really die in Eclipse Phase, but if you do, using the package system, you can jump right back into the game. Because normally it takes a couple hours to make a character properly.
Oh, that'd be kind of sad. I spent 8 hours in this character. You die. Oh.
Well, like I said, it's really hard to die in Eclipse Phase because you have a backup copy of your consciousness in like 3 different places.
Yeah, my since people are new, might not know how to build a character, don't feel like spending 3 to 8 hours figuring it out.
That's true.
Especially because you don't know what'll be any good once you get in there.
Right. That's why I like the life path creation.
Oh.
Now you're talking here, buddy. This creation simulates growing up. You start off as a child, and you roll events that shape your life.
Cyberpunk 2013 has something like that.
There you go. This is a much better creation experience, especially for the newly initiated to Eclipse Phase, because it really puts you into your character's shoes, because you and their backstory, you're seeing it happen right in front of you. Right? You were born into a wealthy family, so you start off with money. You were born very athletic. This is all luck. This is all rolls. There is no choose or roll. No. You have to roll. Yeah. It's random. No one, you can't know how you're going to be born. That's random. You can't know if your family is going to be good or not. That's random.
Unless you were genetically engineered, I guess.
And some people are genetically engineered, but that happens if you have money. So if you have money, your parents can spend the money to get you a better body. That's fine. And then as you grow up, you get a random life event that happens to you. And that helps shape your skill set and your personality. And then you get to choose what job you had before the Great Fall. And then that gives you more skills. And then what happened to you during the fall? What happened post-fall? A lot of this stuff is random. They have no control over. But some of it is. Like if you had a job before the fall, you can probably choose that. I mean, you can choose your career nowadays. Yeah. It's the same pre-fall. That's fine. So if you choose to be a cartographer, even if you suck at cartography, it's still your job. I mean, lots of people suck at their job.
That's true.
They're still employed. That's what happens. Now, this can be better or worse than the character point system. You get 1,000 character points in the base system. Now, with this life path creation, if you luck out in your rolls, in your random rolls of life events, if you luck out, your character could be worth significantly more than 1,000 character points at the end, or significantly less.
Mark says he's not fond of having his backstory randomized because he's trying to make a character he likes. So that's understandable. I get it.
I understand. I get that. I like it because if you don't want to build your character the way you want to build your character, then this is the next best thing.
These are quicker options.
Exactly. This is the next best thing.
Ravenslayer says he liked the Oriental Adventures life tales for background. Those were cool.
Yeah.
Oriental Adventures had so many good ideas. First edition D&D.
Oh, don't forget to enter the giveaway. It's still going on. We got
still
1,
going.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people in there right now. You too can join. Just follow the channel.
Yes, you can.
And hit !! Legion Rocks, and you are entered to win Mad Max.
Indeed.
Now, so how do you do it?
Which is not to be confused with the Angry Schlo.
Exactly. How do you do it? How do you use the life path creation system? Well, here you go. Here's the story of your life. You roll an aptitude template. All right. These are your natural leanings when you're born. No one knows what you're going to be good at when you're born. You know,
I agree
you
with
could be born with a club foot.
Right.
What
that Garthon rocks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Heathen Duck cheats. Yeah,
that's true.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's true. I do that. That's true. Anyway, no one knows if you're going to be athletic before you're born. You know, before your character generated, you just grew up like you just were born that way. You have an aptitude for certain things and not for others. These are random stat rolls. Boom, there you go. That's in a lot of games. No one can really fight that. I mean, a lot of games have random stat rolls.
Yeah,
and then you roll
the
your
original way that these kind of games were done.
Exactly. And then you roll your native language. This doesn't really matter. This is more like flavor. Like your native language is Polish, so maybe you grew up in Poland. Maybe you're a Russian Jew. I don't know. Whatever. You can build this as part of your backstory while this is going. And then you roll your youth path. Now, don't worry. At the end of this, I'm going to have examples of all of the tables so you can see them. But your youth path is what you learned or what you were stuck with as a kid. Like as a kid, let's say you roll and your family was wealthy. Well, you get a bonus to Moxie, you get a bonus to starting income, and you get a bonus to your morph, the body you're sleeved into because your parents could afford better things. Or your dad is an alcoholic and he left the family and it's just you and a single mom, and you're on hard times when you were little and you grew up with less. You know, you have your body's a little weaker because she didn't have enough money to get you a really good morph. Maybe you had to drop out of school, so your education's a little low. This is all random. This is all stuff you have no control over, and it's part of your backstory now. Then we go on. A background event. Stuff happens even to kids. You know, let's say mom and dad get into a car crash, or better yet, well, actually worse yet, you and your parents go to the theater one day and your dad decides, let's cut around the back alley, and they get shot dead. And then you become the Batman. Whatever, it's fine. Woo. That's your life event. You become the Batman. Now, you roll after that to see what starting age you're going to be. When the game actually starts, this is how old you're going to be. Are you going to be young? Are you going to be old? Let's find out. Now, if you're old, but you have a young sleeve, that means your body is young, then you get bonuses to all of your mental attributes because you've been around the block a while, and no physical bonuses whatsoever. But if you're poor and you don't have money for a new sleeve, you're in an aged vessel. So you get minuses to physical stats at that point. Now, what were you before the fall? Now for people who don't know about Eclipse Phase in the fall, there was an AI convergence, and they were called Titans. It's an acronym. I forget what the acronym was for at the moment, but these are self-aware machines that went about exterminating all human life they could find. Humans left the Earth to try to get away from them. Now, before the fall, what did you do? Now, this is the point where personally, I would give them a choice. It says to roll, but jobs you choose to have aren't really random. I mean, if you really don't want a job, you'll quit. If it's really that bad, no, I got bills. No, if it's really that bad, you'll get a new job. So I would let them choose their job at this point. Now, this job, the first job, your first profession, will really dictate your skills. What you learned when you were a young adult. This is going to be a lot of what you know going forward.
All right.
And then you get another pre-fall event. Another random event happens to you. When you're in your late teens, early 20s, you win the lottery. So now you're rich. Or you get into a car accident and you got a bum leg now unless you lose some money to get a new morph. Stuff like that. All that stuff can happen. And then the fall happened. This is another random roll because where were you when the robots attacked? Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
And the nanoswarms were eating people alive.
The nanoswarms were eating people alive. People were being uploaded by the Titans, and then AIs were downloaded in their meat sleeves to go inside sleeper mode and murder all the humans they could find. That happened.
Yeah, that's
it rough. It was great. So what happened to you during the fall?
It's like high school.
Yeah, exactly. Or when JFK was shot or when the towers came down, where were you? This is it. This is the role. And then after that, your post-fall. What did you do after? How do you live in the new normal? This is your second career. This is your new normal career. The new age of humanity. What do you do now? Now this, I'm up in the air. Is it random? Is it choice? The reason being is there's not a whole lot of jobs after the fall. You get what you can get and you like it or you die.
Fair enough. I mean, that could be a random role, though. It's like all they had were, garbage collectors, and guess what you get to do, pal?
You get to be a garbage collector now, like whatever. It could be that. But, if the player has a really great idea, I'll let them have a choice.
Yeah, we don't need life coaches anymore. We do need people to scrub toilets.
Exactly. We need garbage purifiers.
Yeah.
All right. And then you get a post-fall event. Something happens to you again, good or bad, or neutral. Doesn't matter. It can happen.
It's just
and then after that, you roll starting money with all of your events that haven't nullified each other. Like if you were born rich and you somehow through all of these events stayed rich, you get to add that money into the gear money you're rolling right now to get even more rich. But if through all those different life events, you lose your money, well, this is all the money you get. This is it, buddy. Sorry. And then after that, after you buy your money and your gear and everything, you put it all together, you fill in your character sheet, you get all the figured statistics from your main statistics. Your starting faction is usually the last faction you roll on a life event. All right. You may be in with several factions throughout your life. When you're young, you're in the AV club in high school. Then when you're in college, you're in the male feminist organization because they got hot women in it. And then you really decide that was a bad idea and you leave that. It's the last faction you rolled that you got is what you start as. And then there's an optional one last story event. Now this one doesn't have a whole lot of consequences, plus or minus. It's more of a flavor event. I'll don't worry, I can show it to you, but it's more of a to help you role play moving forward. So after you've done all of this, your character's made. It's 100% done. It's made. Now let's look at the life path tables. The first is the youth path. All right, you roll a d10, 1 through 6, wholesome youth. You roll on the 3.1 background, you're fine, and as a result, you take a 3-point package. 7 through 9, split youth. Roll twice on backgrounds, and you take 2 1-point packages. Or fractured youth. This is where you grew up in a home, and you were orphaned, or your mother dropped you off at the fire station when you were a day old. Like you've basically got a hard knock life right from the start. So you didn't get any formal education. That's why you get 3 1-point packages. Then we go to the background event. This is the background event I was talking about. There's D100. Here it is. All the stuff you could get from one of your life events. While your friends throw themselves into VR worlds, you simply throw up. Gain the VR vertigo trait. Or you are kept at home and not allowed to play sports with other kids. Lose 5. This is a physical stat. You fall in with the wrong crowd. Ignore your last roll on the youth path and take the street rat package instead. You become a bum. You're not bum, but you become a hood rat. Let's see. Your parents raise you with some unusual ideas. Gain the faulty education trait.
Woo-hoo!
Exactly.
Congratulations, you're an anti-vaxxer. Welcome to.
Yay! And you're a Scientologist. Yay!
Oh gosh.
Or if you roll a 93 or 94, lose all your close friends in a horribly awkward teen social situation. Gain the not a team player trait. Stuff like this. None of these things are end of the world, but they are background building stories. And they give you free bonuses if you roll well and annoying minuses if you don't roll well. None of it is character breaking. It's just flavor. And we go to the character age. I told you I was going to get to that. In your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 90s, 100. Over 100 years old, up to 130. And then if you roll a 95 to 100, you roll on the advanced age table. And the advanced age table, it's a 1 through 10. If you roll a 1 or a 2 or a 3, you get minuses. The first two are physical stat minuses. The third is the immortality blues. You're so old that life really has nothing for you anymore. You feel that way. So you're depressed most of the time.
Oh.
But if you roll a 4, you've kept your mind vigorous and vigilant throughout this entire time, and you actually gain mental stats, saving throw,
nice.
Willpower, stuff like that. And then if you roll a 5 through 10, then you just proceed to step 6, which is just the next table. All right. And this is the fall event. I only did 1 through 36 because I just wanted you to get a taste of it. If you roll a 1 through 10, you somehow stay safe and are untouched by the chaos and horror.
Yay.
Gain +1 moxie and roll on the story event table instead. The story event table is much tamer than the fall event table. Trust me, you're going to like it. 11 through 12, you stay to the end fighting a rear guard action. Roll randomly on the choosing a morph table and gain 1 moxie. So you could get a better morph, you get a worse morph because you stayed to defend everyone leaving the earth, and your body could have just been blown to smithereens, and you're put into a cheap morph. Yeah. And all of this stuff goes down. Most of it's bad because it's the fall. It's the fall of humanity. It's bad. All right, most of it's bad. You know that the Titans killed or uploaded you according to reports. Roll randomly on choosing a morph table. You fall victim to the Titans in Earth orbit, on Luna, or on Mars. Roll randomly on choosing a morph table.
I see a lot of those.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whatever morph you had before the fall, you lost because the Titans blew it up or took it from you or whatever. So now you got to roll randomly again. So, the fall event can screw up your entire backstory up to that point because it's the end of the world, man. It's going to screw up your entire backstory. Exactly right. So if you that's all I got for the overview of the player's guide. If you want me to do a deep dive on the life path creation rules, I will do that step by step and make a character with all the random rolls. I will do that. Just throw it in chat, throw it in the comments below. If there's enough interest, I'll do it. 100%. And what'd you think of the segment? What are your thoughts on rolling versus choosing in character creation? Choosing the packages or rolling randomly? Which side do you fall in? Or do you just like points?
Points are fun.
You just want the points. I like points fun. And do you have any suggestions for future RPGs? I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
And then I'll review it. Mark Hockman says, so they're like Terminators, but with a wider variety of options for killing you? Yes. They have a far... Oh, my God. The Titan AI specifically wrote like thousands of algorithms on how to torture humans while they're killing them. It's dark. You can find my Eclipse Phase overview of the main book on YouTube right now. It's in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, just for the backstory alone.
It's one of those things you read and you're like, wow, that's very interesting. I would never want to live through that. I don't know if I want to play this game because everything is really bad.
Yeah, life is hard.
Life is very bad for you. Titan AI.
Titan AE.
I liked Titan AE.
Really?
I did. I did. I'm not saying it was a perfect film, but it was enjoyable. Then I like Treasure Planet too, so you can't go by me.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you, Heathen Dog, so much. Remember, don't miss an episode of Heathen Dog. On Twitch, you can follow this notifications. Say, hey, what's that notification thing? What can I do? Subscribe! Then you can join subscriber giveaways. And your life will be exploding with joy. Your YouTube subscribe, get notifications from there, too, when it's uploaded to YouTube or when special things are happening on YouTube. Braveslayer agrees with Garthon. Thank you. That's true. For more Heathen Dog, check out his YouTube segments of his past streams, his team-ups, past games, the highs, the lows, the tears, the anger, the triumph. And join Heathen
And
Dog.
I don't know. That's right. And I don't know what game I'm going to play next. So if you have any suggestions, throw them in chat, throw them in the comments, and I'll take a look at them. I've looked at every game everyone's ever commented. I haven't decided on one yet.
You could do what the hip kids are doing right now.
Fortnite?
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2. The
Is that out for
remastered
PC?
edition?
Yeah, the remastered edition.
Yeah, it is. I believe so.
That's all the hip kids are playing right now. Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming out at some point.
Did Baldahar say that?
Duncan said that.
Duncan, you're going to get the ban hammer. You're not going to get to roll for your subscriber giveaway if you keep talking about the game that should not be named.
He did. He mentioned a possible sequel.
He
He wants you to gain revenge on the game. He's on your side.
There is no getting revenge. It actually broke my PC, so I'm not going to.
That is true. It did actually break his PC as well.
Yes.
It broke his part and his PC. It is out. Wait. Got to end. Thank you, Heathen Dog.